All right, sixth graders, this is to help you with question 4 on CR Helper number 3. It says, which of the following is not equivalent to 1/2 times the quantity 15 plus 13? All right, so what I might do in this problem, I might figure out the actual value of this as a single number. Then for each one of these, I'll get them each to a single number, and I'm looking for which one does not match. All right, so in mathematical expressions, what we need to do is use the order of operations to simplify. So let's just review the order of operations. First thing you always do is work within parentheses or grouping symbols, so you get to a single value within your parentheses. Second step is exponents, and I believe that at this point, you won't ever have any exponents in your expression, so I think you'll learn about that in 6th grade. Third step, once you take care of parentheses, then exponents, you move on to multiplication or division, and that happens left to right. So if there's both a multiplication and a division in a problem, you work out your multiplication left to right. And then the last step in our order of operations is to add or subtract. Oops. Add or subtract left to right. Again, once you're at the step of adding and subtracting, that's at the same level, and you move left to right to handle that. All right, so let's take our original expression. Let's simplify it using the order of operations and see what happens. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work within parentheses first. So I have to do 15 plus 13. Off to the side, some of you might have to line them up vertically to help yourself. So you line up the ones place, the tens place. 5 plus 3 is 8. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 15 plus 13 is 28. So this is 1/2. Inside parentheses, you now have a 28. If you don't see an operation between the 1/2 and the 28, we need to assume that's multiplication. So this means 1/2 times 28. So now I'm just going to multiply this because I took care of my parentheses. I don't have exponents, and you won't. You don't have them in any one of these problems. So now I'm going to multiply or divide left to right. I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to multiply these. 1/2 times 28. 28 is 28 over 1. Some of you might already know what half of 28. Some of you are going, it's 14. But some of us might not be there yet, and that's okay. I'm going to multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. 1 times 28 is 28. 2 times 1 is 2. This fraction bar, it's important to realize that means division. So this is 28 divided by 2. I can do long division. 2 into 28. 2 goes into 2 once. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract off. 2 minus 2 zeros out. Bring down the 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. So 28 divided by 2 is 14. So your final answer to this is 14. So I need to figure out which of these expressions is not 14. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at letter D. Do you see how at one point in our expression we had 1/2 times 28 over 1? Oh, all right, so guess what half of 28 is? We worked that out a moment ago and realized it was 14. Bye-bye, don't have a shot. Let's try B. B seems fairly straightforward. Let's line up our place values. So I'm just guessing and checking at this point. So if you have 7.5 plus 6.5, line up those place values. Line up your ones place, line up your tenths place, bring your decimal point right down. 5 and 5 is 10. Put down a 0, carry a 1. 7 and 1 is 8, and 6 more is 14. Ooh. So 14 and 0 tenths is the same as 14. So guess what? I'm looking for the one that's not 14. Well, guess what? B was 14. So now I look at my other ones, and I say, If 7.5 plus 6.5 already gets me to 14, if I take that and multiply it by 2, well, look it, then I definitely have a number greater than 14. So let's work out this one. 2, and then in parentheses, so this is letter C, I'm just guessing and checking. 7.5, your teachers will want to see all work, plus 6.5. Well, we just figured out 7.5 plus 6.5 was 14. So this is 2, and within parentheses, 14. We don't see an operation. We know to assume it's multiplication. What's 2 times 14? Some of you might be going, it's 28, because 28 divided by 2 was 14. 2 times 14. If you need to long multiply, do that off to the side. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. This answer is 28. So what one is not equivalent to this? Not 14? Oh, 28 is certainly not 14. I know that video was a little bit long, but hopefully that helps.